New Toyota Tacoma customized front tow hooks. Let's put them on. Everybody, and welcome back to Robmotive. Today I'm going to be installing some customized front tow hooks for my new Toyota Tacoma. Now, I've done something like this similar before on other trucks, but these are a little bit different. They're from a different manufacturer and they're a different color. So let me take you down here. I'll show you what I've got. We've got the truck up on the lift, and I gotta say, having this lift is awesome. So much easier to work on stuff. But what I'm going to do, these are orange, of course, to match the theme of the truck. And then I do have some spacers. My buddy Randall gave me these. They did come with some little spacers too. And this is to keep them from moving around and making a lot of noise on the demon brackets. These are demon brackets. What they do, they bolt on right here where the factory bolt is. There's one here. And then on the other side, there's one here. Now, you may wonder, well, gee, you've got this tow hook thing here, how's that gonna fit? Well, you do have to remove the factory little tow hook area here, if you will. So we're gonna be taking this off to allow for room for the demon brackets. And then of course, the hooks themselves, the pen goes right through the hole on the demon bracket, hangs down and gives you a nice look on the front. Now, on mine, I did install the TRD skid plate with the orange letters, so obviously we're trying to match that up. So I'll set you guys up, I'll show you the install. Not too difficult, just need a ratchet. I have actually an impact tool here, if you will, with a 17-inch socket. That's what takes the bolts off. Pretty simple to do. Okay, we're gonna start on the driver's side because that's the easier one to do. So let's go ahead, pull off this bolt. Just like so. Now, one thing to be aware of, it has this little piece here. I'm not sure why it has this piece. You could remove it, I guess. I don't really know what its function is, but I'm not gonna because I don't have to. So we're gonna leave that on. Now, all you have to do is bolt on the demon bracket itself. And it fits right over the edge here, like so. And then, of course, we got to find the hole. And let's see here. Right there. That's pretty difficult, I know. And I will tell you, when I did one, I think it was on the other side. I actually forgot to put this piece in on the other truck. I had to go back and reinstall this because it looked kind of funky with one on and the other one not. So let's go ahead, we'll tighten this down, and then I'll torque it with muscle power by hand. Okay. So, let me grab a socket, or rather, a ratchet, I guess. Go ahead and torque that puppy down. There, that's pretty darn tight. I'm sure that is to exact torque specs, because you know I just have that built in mentally, but I'm okay with it. Now let's go over to the other side. We'll get the demon bracket mounted over there. First things first on here, we do have to remove this little tow hook area. And a lot of people have questioned as to whether these are strong enough. I mean, I forget what the rating is on these. I think it's like 10,000 pounds. I'm not exactly sure though. You should check if that concerns you. But I gotta say, this is a lot beefier, at least looking, than what comes from the factory. That sucker was in there, let me tell you. Just that easy. And now you have a decision to make. You can reinstall the bolts. I think I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the demon bracket actually fits on there unimpeded by the bolts. And if there's room, I think I'm going to go ahead and just put them back in, really just to keep track of them, not for any other reason. Okay, that gets the bolt out. Same install as the other side. I mean, this isn't really all that complicated. Tighten it down a hair with the ratchet. Or the impact, I guess I should say, to be technical about it. Now we're going to use a little bit of that muscle torque power. Go ahead and do that. Again, not an exact science, I know. If you're concerned about the torque specs, I would think you'd be able to look them up somewhere and go ahead and do it the right way. So next up, we need to grab the shackles because that's all that's left. That's how easy this is to do. Real quick, if you're not familiar, the pin just screws out. There's a little hole in the pin there so that you can kind of, what I do is stick a screwdriver in there to kind of torque them down a little bit. You could put some Loctite or something on here if you want. I'm going to put a little device on here to hold the pin in case it should ever loosen up because I don't want it to fall out. But the biggest decision I have to make is which spacer to use. Like I said, I don't want these bouncing around, so I'm going to do a little test fit. We'll see whether the spacers that it came with are enough or if I can fit a little bit thicker one on there just to keep these things from making a lot of noise, rattling around and stuff. I did decide to go with the spacers that came with it. The other ones that I had were actually too thick, so I wouldn't have been able to put it on with the other ones, honestly. So I'm going to put the pin facing the outside. It's really up to you which way you go. I just think if you ever needed to take them off for some reason, it's easier to work over here than over there. Now, I had mentioned before, and before I forget, about seeing if I could put the bolts back in that we took out, and I think, let's see, at least one of them I can, but the second one I can't because the demon bracket itself is in the way. So I am going to go ahead and put the first pin in, I guess, that I took out, or the first bolt. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one back up there now. Otherwise, I shall forget to do it and then remember after the fact and still have to crawl underneath the truck. I don't want to do that. Okay, now I don't have to worry about doing that. It is a bit of a tight fit in the demon bracket, so we're gonna give it a little bit of persuasion. This is where having a rubber mallet might come in handy so you don't mess up your paint job. Okay, no simple project goes unpunished. You can see there's silver showing here, right? That's because I had to sand off some of the paint because this just would not fit. It's still a rather tight fit, but I think it'll be okay. It seems to spin. I can spin it okay, I think, with a tool. So I think it's okay. So something's a little off. My guess would be the pin is off because on this side, it fits in here perfectly. No issue. It could be the demon bracket, but my bet is on the tolerance on the pin. Now, the good part about this is you're not going to be able to see the silver, so I don't really have a big issue with that, but it was just a little bit off so that it fits in there really snugly even now with it sanded off, but I think it's enough for us to continue. So I'm going to go ahead and carry on. Here we go after that minor inconvenience, I must say. Let's go ahead and see if I can fit it in there now. Hopefully I didn't screw up the threads on the pin itself. I don't think I did. Okay, I've got it through. Now we're going to see if I can spin it in. It is spinning in, so that's a good thing. And I think it's probably going to tighten up on me here because the pin is just a hair off, I think, in diameter. But I think it's going to give me a good hold. Now let's stick the screwdriver in the hole there and see if I can get it in without too much. I'm not gonna go crazy getting it in because if I ever wanted to take it off, I don't want to go crazy getting it off either. But actually, I think it's pretty much as far in as it's going to go. And I do have quite a bit more room on this side, so I'm going to see if I can fit the thicker washer over there. And I think I can, so I'm going to take it off again, put the thicker washer on that side. It'll also cover up a little bit of the chrome that you can see here now, the silver color, right in this area. So you won't be able to see that either. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, put it back on again, and then we'll move on to the other side. We've got them on. They look awesome. I love these things on the front of the truck. Again, the little problem there on the edge on the other side wasn't a really big deal. Just had to sand it a little bit. Let me give you guys a close-up. I did put the bigger spacer in over here, right here. So you cannot see the sanded area. And it looks like maybe these are aluminum. I'm not sure. Maybe they are steel. I'm guessing probably for the rating they have to be steel. So I guess rust could become a problem down the road. Probably should have treated them with something, but I'm not that concerned, to be honest. So we do have the double spacers, the bigger one over here, the smaller one over there. That's what it looks like. I have a little bit of movement, but it's pretty tight, and I like that because that means they're not gonna bounce around. Same thing on this side, except of course I didn't have to sand the pin. It fit in there perfectly, no issues. I'm sure a little bit of the paint got scraped while I was tightening it up. But this one moves a little bit more, but still it's pretty firm. Don't think it's gonna bounce around a ton. Now, there is one more thing that I wanted to do. As I mentioned, I do have these little wires. They have little screws on the end. I love these things. Actually, these came from my buddy Randall again too. So kudos to Randall, great ideas he has. They just go through the hole here, come around, and it's kind of just to keep the pen from turning. Once it gets to a certain point, it wouldn't be able to turn anymore and fall out. So a little bit of security, and also, you know, if somebody sees that, it's not something they can just clip off easily. Gives me a little bit of protection from people stealing the D-shackles or the D-rings as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those on, and then we'll show you the final product. All right, got it all done. Have my little metal wire securement, if you will. So let me show you the finished product. This is what they look like on the front of the truck. Again, this little wire, just to keep this from spinning. And yeah, I do think it's strong enough. It is metal, again, it's not plastic. So if this starts to back out for some reason, it will stop it and the whole thing won't drop. So that's the look. I'll put some pictures at the end with the truck actually down on the ground. You can see what it looks like. Now, we do have another project coming up, and this is again something, what I had on the other truck. I'm putting them on because I like them. They're going to be rear tow hooks for the back. But that, of course, is another video. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the tow hooks on the front. I think they're pretty cool. I like them in orange. They are a little bit different than the other ones. I didn't have the little black little covers on the other ones right here, and they're orange. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Also, real quick, I do have an additional channel. It is Robmotive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check it out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.